Hi everyone, it's Candace with Reasons for Hope, and we're just doing a special live update today. I'm happy to not only have Carl here today, but also our buddy Frank, Pastor Frank in Hawaii. And there's a reason behind him coming as a guest today, and we're going to tell you about it. So, Carl, Frank, it's nice to see you guys.
Aloha.
Welcome.
Good
um,
to be seen.
Yes. So, Frank, tell us, there's some things happening in Hawaii that have sort of affected our upcoming trip for our evangelism training. And maybe you just want to share a little bit with Carl what is happening and what we're having to do because of that.
I'll let Carl share about the adjustments that we need to make, but to some of the things that are happening in Hawaii, our case count numbers for COVID have shot up dramatically. We were averaging at the highest point of the pandemic last year, somewhere around 400, 500. The past week and a half, we've been hitting a total of like 1,600 cases per day. And yesterday we had our highest death count. And I realize that how they keep track of death is subject to scrutiny. But because of these things, the Hawaii state government is in the process of locking things down again. They have made it very clear that if you are not from the state, they don't want you here. They don't want to uh, have visitors here. They don't want us mingling outside of our groups. They don't want people, I guess, being a part of things. Sorry, this paper. They don't want people doing any sort of outdoor gatherings, and that presents a problem. Even to the point where the head of our tourism has said that you're not welcome here at this point. They're requiring all visitors to have vaccination passports. It's just really getting tough, and so because of that, the opportunity for us to mingle and go out and share the gospel, basically, with other people in a person-to-person way outside has been kind of shut down. They're even wanting to go back to having a mandatory lockdown this weekend, which means you can't leave your house at all for any reason unless it's an emergency, essential work, or you're buying groceries. So that's kind of where we're at, and we could definitely use the prayers.
So, Carl, just, maybe share a little bit about, and if you're on our email list, we sent an email out about this today. If you are not on our email list, put a message in the comments and we'd be happy, or private message us, we'd be happy to add you to that list. But Carl, maybe share a little bit about this now impacting DeTour DeIslands.
Yeah, I mean, we're going over there to serve, and we've got 7 places that have asked us to do so. Uh, and so that's what we have to do. We have to serve, and we have to take into consideration what's going on locally. So we've made the decision that we're going to push this back a little bit. We're going to rely on them to let us know when it looks as if they're going to feel comfortable, because the youth pastors are asking the youth to come out on the street with us and to do these things. And the youth pastors have all said, look, we're there, but we can't put the youth in this position. And I understand that. I really do. It breaks our heart that we need to push this back. I'm thinking it'll probably be about November timeframe, but we'll see. Again, we are just so up in the air with all of this stuff. But here's what I do know: I know that God is still in control. I know that I was supposed to go over there twice before this last February when we finally were able to go over there. We had to postpone my dates twice to get there, and when we got there, the responses Candace, how long have we been going there for? Like 12 years. you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
we've been going there for a long time. And when we got over there, the responses that we got this last time in February were so off the chart. So um, God is preparing something, and we've seen this over and over again. Whenever we run into these little nitnoid, just frustration things, it's like Satan wants to get you all out of sorts and just ticked and all that sort of a thing. So we know he's in control. We're going to trust him, and we're going to go as soon as the Lord allows us. We've got Frank. Why don't you update him about, even to me, how the surfboard thing, the
Yeah.
bus thing, how those things, how those things are even coming together.
Yeah, so we do have our bus up and running. It took some work to organize finding a bus and getting it all to the point where we're ready. The graphics are being printed as we speak and getting ready to put on it. And we're getting 2 custom surfboards built for both the speaking engagements as well as our man on the street thing. And it's pretty amazing in that we even one of the surfboard companies that is helping us build it actually caught fire. And so if you could pray for the owner, his name is Jason, as he's dealing with that. And luckily, and this sounds almost selfish, but our surfboards were spared. But there was quite a bit of damage at the shop. And so there's all these things going on, but the people that are helping us out have been checking out the app and checking out the website. And so a lot of things that we were having to pay to do, people are saying, you know what, that's awesome that you're being willing to do that. And so they've been donating the supplies or their time. And it's just been a blessing beyond what any of us thought God was going to do. And so it's been a real neat thing to see.
Yeah, amen, amen. And that's something that we're just experiencing over and over again. Even with this last month and a half, to broaden out this update that we're giving you, we've been in the last month and a half, we've been in at least 5 different camps. And out of those 5 different camps, we've seen 31 young people make professions of faith. So we're seeing responses that are just not the norm. There is a definite interest. There's a definite excitement. We are so blessed to do what we do. I mean, even today, Candace, you might even share something about our conference call today with the fact that we had Paul and Holly on there, and Dave Glander couldn't make it because he's having a goodbye party at the place because he's joining this full time. I mean, we've been doing this for 11 years, you and I, and to see where we are now, I don't know about you. I never dreamed this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool where God has taken us for sure. Yeah, it's amazing. So, just another quick story. Just my daughter was telling me from this week. She was in class and she was doing a reading, I believe it was a reading assignment or reading test, and it was talking about animals and laughter. Just fine, animals can be happy, obviously a dog wags its tail, everything, but animals and laughter. And at the very bottom it said something about primates and how we probably, got this laughter, or it was maybe for us at one time just like a sigh, because we developed the characteristic of laughing, and that's what a primate does. They kind of sigh. And she put down on her paper, she's like, nope, I do not believe this is true. I do not. And she's like, I will never believe this is true. And she goes, Mom, if the teacher was going to ask me why I wrote that, I was going to say, Mom, because my mom, she works on debunking these ideas. And I just thought that was really cute. And then we talked about, well, that's good that Mom believes that, but you can share why you believe that too. So anyway, just a cute story.
Well, I'll tell you a sad story. So this last camp I was at up in Wisconsin, this last weekend, I had at least 8 of the family units, the mother and father, that came up to me, at least 8 of them that came up to me and said, yeah, when we were in school, we watched your whole Demolishing Stronghold series and we loved it. And now we've got our kids here listening to you. And I'm like, okay, that's like a backhanded slap, because now I have these school kids that watch this thing, and now they've got their own children bringing them to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we've been going a long time, but God is so good and gracious that he allows us to do this. So thank you guys for praying for us, for supporting us. It's amazing.
Yep. Frank, thanks for joining us today as well, and just giving us some ways that we could pray for you guys in Hawaii. We know there is a lot to be prayed for you specifically, and also for your health too, Frank, dealing with some medical stuff too. So pray for Pastor Frank if you think of it.
And Juan.
Yes, and also just remember that although we are postponing our man on the street thing, our mic'd up team, we are not postponing the speakers.
Yeah.
We have several people coming down to participate in many churches here on the islands, and there's still a lot that needs to be done as far as organizing that and taking care of ministering to the needs of those who are within the church walls, because our government hasn't been able to stop that. And so there's still a lot of work to be done, and we could absolutely use your prayers that God would get the glory and we would be as effective as possible in the opportunities that we're given.
Amen. We're scheduled to speak over 40 times during that 1 week period. So we will definitely covet your prayers.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I think that's our update for today. Thanks so much for joining us. And Frank, hey, over in Hawaii, don't forget to stay bold.
Stay bold.
Aloha.
Adios.